What a da danyo, what da dang, and go danyo, what da dang. This is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Show, number where we speak truth to power. And I want to say thank you so much for coming. Now, here we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we will do it on one condition, and that condition is to build and not to destroy. We are in the service of God and country. Hallelujah. And remember, my brother, my sister, this is not personal. We don't deal with personalities, we just deal with the issues, man. My brother, my sister, and here, remember, we detach the personalities from the issues. And this is where the most temperate language is used. Oh yes, yet we are the hardest hitting. This is the hardest hitter. And my name, Blakk Rasta. I want to say good afternoon to you. Kwame Do, mixing G, mixing gospel. And we say you've been waiting for this segment, man. All right? And to everybody waiting for this segment, we are here now. This is the voice of the people. And the voice of the people is the voice of God. Now the very first story we want to look at is taken from Daily Guide. It's a private newspaper, my brother, my sister, with sympathies to the ruling party, my brother, my sister. Now this one was published several months ago, but I will just want to go into it. It says, I will ban Sarkodie if I have my way. And this is coming from Blakk Rasta. I read. Musician and radio presenter Blakk Rasta has said if he had his way, he would ban Sarkodie's music for some time and strip him off his ambassadorial deals due to how he handled the abortion issue with actress Yvonne Nelson. Blakk Rasta was speaking on UTV's United Showbiz, and he said it was awkward for Sarkodie to release the song Try Me, punctuated with vulgarity, to respond to Yvonne Nelson's claim that he impregnated her in 2010, drove her to an abortion clinic, and left her there to her fate. According to Blakk Rasta, Sarkodie did not handle the issue in a mature way, as he questioned who counsels the musician. For Yvonne, she wrote a masterpiece. I feel so good when I read the book. I wish she mentioned some names she had in the book, but Sarkodie's response is nothing good to write home about. This was what I said several months ago, and I went deeper and said that we need some of these measures to be able to make some of our so-called celebrities responsible. Today, Kanye West is suffering all because of a certain decision he decided to take. Anti-Semitism. Shabba Ranks went through the same thing when he granted an interview. And in that interview, he visited gay people with hate, as he said that they would have to be shot and killed one after the other in that interview. I am sure that given the chance again, he would not go directly like that. He would be a little smarter with that. But it changed his musical life permanently. My brother, my sister, as the Bible says, a soft response repels bitterness and rancor. But a hard one, a bitter one, would make sure that bitterness and rancor would come your way. My brother, my sister, now I am reading this from City Newsroom. It's one of the most authentic sources of news online. It says, Paris 2024, group petitions Africa Fan Zone organizers to exclude Sarkodie from performing. Did I give a prophecy? Was it prophetic? You want to hear it again? Paris 2024, group petitions Africa Fan Zone organizers to exclude Sarkodie from performing. And this was published on July 25, only yesterday. And I read it. A human rights organization, New Ghana Social Justice Forum, has petitioned the French National Olympic and Sports Committee and organizers of the Africa Fan Zone event to exclude rapper Sarkodie from its list of performers. Sarkodie has been scheduled to perform on August 9 at the Africa Fan Zone or Station Afrique at Stade Robert César in France. Now, the Africa Fan Zone is an independent cultural event happening at the same time as the Olympic Games. However, the New Ghana Social Justice Forum contends that the artist is misogynic. You know what that means? Now, the group associates its claim to a line of the song Jennifer Lomete, which Sarkodie was featured on by Kel Songs. Now, the rapper in the song spoke about Krobo ladies and acts of promiscuity, reiterating a known folklore about young ladies from Krobo. He said, Krobo ni ba papa ahwenie da nase nesisi konfo anochi de edwamai abonodua, to wit, a beautiful Krobo lady with beads on her waist. She has been cursed with promiscuity by Okonfo Anoche. These words are what the New Ghana Social Justice Forum believes encompass the misogynic nature of the rapper and wants him barred from performing at the Africa Fan Zone. Amongst other reasons, the group also cited his recent turmoil with actress Yvonne Nelson, who claimed in her memoir, I am not Yvonne Nelson, that the rapper forced her to abort a baby after he impregnated her. Well. I want to applaud this group. If I knew where their offices were, I will go there with a big keg of palm wine to say thank you. We need some of these things to make some of our people a little smarter and wiser. When you are a role model, you know what that means? It means that there are so many people you might not even know who take a step because you have taken a step or you have asked them to take a step. In this country, we have no respect, my brother, my sister, or the common sense of not stepping outside our bounds. It's sad. Now, when you go to the West, musicians are very careful what they put out. If their lyrics are laced with profanity, they would have to say that so that many people will stay away from that. People who love profanity would go listen to this. Not in our society. Everything goes. Pass me the Dutchie. Hey, pass me the Dutchie. Wine pon the cocky. And they are playing it all over on radio. You know what that means? Pass me the Dutchie. Young girl, wine on the cocky. It's playing all over. My brother, my sister. If I want to listen to profanity, no problem, I might play it because it's a beautiful song, I love it. But I do not want to be driving with my children in a car. And I hear young girl wine pon the cocky. Wine pon the cocky. You know what that means? My brother, my sister, I wouldn't want to moralize it on anybody. I have songs that are also X-rated, but I make sure that they are labeled good. They have lyrics that are X-rated. My brother, my sister, today as it stands, the group is saying Sarkodie must step aside. This will teach a lot of us to be very careful how we speak. Sarkodie exhibited a lot of arrogance. And when I speak like this, then people will send me messages. Sometimes they call me, oh, do you have a problem with Sarkodie? You see how daft some of us can be. You cannot criticize a man if you don't have a problem with that person. People will start asking you, oh, why you envy Sarkodie, or you hate Sarkodie, or you hate Mr. X, or you dislike Mr. X. That's why you are criticizing. You know what it means to criticize? I don't see people who critique me as my enemies. I see them giving me free feedback, free consultancy, so I can get better. Not in our society. That is why our politics is so dirty. You can't belong to a political party and critique it. No, then you are an enemy. You have to be kicked out. So you have to go hook, line, and sinker with whatever rot is going on in your political party to protect your food. How can we grow as a nation like this? Some of these rappers and musicians all across Africa, when they start making some little money, they think they are demigods, they are tin gods, and they have to be worshipped. Yvonne Nelson wrote a beautiful book that you impregnated her. She got pregnant, and then you pushed her to go for an abortion. You drove her all the way to the abortion clinic, left her there to her fate. She had the abortion. You didn't even care to call and find out how it went after begging her and pushing her to have the abortion. Several days went by, several weeks went by. You never called to find out, oh, how did it go? Are you okay? Can I buy you this? Can I go get you this from the shop? No, you didn't care. And when she finally put it out in a book, you have the arrogance, the temerity to release a certain trash called a song called Try Me, calling her a call girl, a street girl. This group should have done this earlier. My brother, my sister, let's think about it very seriously. We need to check some of these things, or else at the end of the day, my brother, my sister, we would only be degrading ourselves and each other. Let Sarkodie face the music. Let other artists who have gone down that line also go through it. Nobody is bigger than the truth. I leave it here. Another thing I want to look at, I actually did not intend looking at this today, but I'm going to look at it briefly. And this one is coming from Professor Steve Hank. How many of us know the professor? He's a great economist, renowned the world over. And this is what he says about Ghana. He likes to talk about the economy right here in Ghana. He says, and I quote, if the entire vaults of the World Bank, IMF, and the Federal Reserve of the United States of America are given to Akufo-Addo, the Akufo-Addo government, it won't save Ghana. They will plunder it within days and go begging again. Ghana's problem is not lack of money, but lack of common sense. I know you want to hear it again. Watch me now. Even if the entire vaults of the World Bank, IMF, and the Federal Reserves of the United States of America are given to the Akufo-Addo government, it won't save Ghana. They will plunder it within days and go begging again. Ghana's problem is not lack of money, but lack of common sense. How many people agree with Professor Hank? I do. And it's not only the Nana Akufo-Addo government. So many other African governments, when we see money, we grow greedier. We are ready to plunder. We are ready to satisfy party cronies and cliques. We are not ready for the common good of the nation. I am so ashamed that I live in a continent where people don't seem to practicalize common sense. It hurts me, my brother. How can you call this country Gold Coast? The white man came here and saw so much gold. He left England, came to Ghana at the time called Gold Coast, and he became richer than the Queen of England. Today, we are so poor, we run after the Queen of England for pennies. My brother, my sister, it's the same thing that happened in Zimbabwe and South Africa, a little English boy who was sacked from the school several times because he suffered from bronchial asthma, came all the way, my brother, my sister, to Africa. He got richer than the Queen of England by exploiting the reserves of Africa, natural resources. Why can't we be rich? But we always go a begging. Professor Hank has hit the nail right on the head. It's not the lack of money. It's the lack of planning and common sense. All they are looking for is money to do campaign so that they will kill their pain. And whilst they are in there, they treat symptoms and not the root cause of the problem. You have malaria and you go taking painkillers. You will not be called a smart person. Am I right? You got to deal with the malaria that is causing all those symptoms. But in Ghana, in Africa, we are not interested in problems, the root cause of the problems. Causative elements, conservatism, we are not interested in that. We are more interested in treating symptoms, cosmetism. Thank you, Professor Hank. Now the next thing I want to look at, and I need you to come here. There's a video that is making the rounds in Ghana. And it's a video of a young man. He's painted his whole body in the colors of the ruling party. He's even written their name there, the NPP. My brother, my sister. And he's written Baumia on the other side. That is not a problem to anybody. But the problem is that these young men have decided to carry him away to discipline him. Via Kofi TV, we are at least able to get these footages. My brother, my sister, the young men are pouring water on him. In other words, they want to rid him of the paint that he has used on his body. You know why? Because he's on the streets begging. He's almost like making a mockery of the party in power. You are painted in the party's color. That means you love this party in power. But you are a beggar on the streets. You have to beg for money before you eat. Yet you are praising those who are making you beg for your food on the streets. So you can see him calling the police to come and help him. These young men are busily washing off the paint off him just to let him know that, listen, stop ridiculing our party. You are ridiculing this party. Take it away. And when you check it out on our Facebook wall, you will see this thing. My brother, yes, come to our Facebook and you will see the video I'm talking about. It's sad. But this is what is happening in Ghana. We run after politicians, singing their praises, yet they are the cause of our problems. A man has nothing to eat in his house. He comes out singing the praises of a politician who buys him kenke and fish for the day. And for the next 1 year, he has nothing to eat. The Ghanaian, the average Ghanaian, sadly, is behaving like the proverbial fowl. You are friends to the fowl as long as you throw food to it. Once the food is gone, the fowl is also gone. My brother, my sister, I wish we all would sit back and look at some of these things. We want to make our own food. We want to raise our own money. We don't want to go a begging. But if the country itself is going around begging, you can imagine what its citizens will do. I leave it here. Another thing I quickly want to look at is this thing I'm reading from Ghana Web, and it says banker chief jailed for stealing 150,000 American dollars belonging to community. He's been fined 24,000 Ghana cedis. And I read, now the chief of Banka, a farming community in the Asante Achim district of the Asante region, has been jailed by the High Court in Accra for stealing 150,000 American dollars belonging to the community. The chief, Osaberima Chiampoma III, was found guilty of stealing by the High Court presided over by Justice Comfort K. Chiame after a full trial on June the 23rd. A chief who is a thief. This is how much they have degraded the traditional setting and space. A chief who is a thief. He stole 150,000 American dollars belonging to the community. Now, when you read the story further, how did the money come to him? Some people came to the area and donated that amount of money to the community. It's supposed to be used to better the community. And we are told that it's a mining company. So it means that as part of their social responsibilities, they decided to donate 150,000 American dollars to the community. But interestingly, the group is coming back for the money. It means that it is either they were looking for a certain franchise in the area, a mining franchise, and therefore decided to give this out as demanded. And when they couldn't get it, they decided to come and take the money back. Or the people in the community decided that no, there was this amount of money publicly donated to us. Where is that money? It's one of the two. It will interest you to know that it is the group that is coming for its own money. Whatever happened in the area, they are not happy. And they took the chief all the way to the court. And this is what the High Court is saying. How would we respect traditional authorities when our chiefs are thieves? My interest in this story is this. The chief is supposed to be the custodian of the area. The chief is supposed to look out for the welfare of the people. Now, if a donor comes in with money to help support the area, and the chief decides to pocket it, use it to marry many more women, and go on a drinking spree every night, my brother, my sister, is a useless chief. True or false? I'm glad that the group decided to take this up, and the chief is going to jail. Now, I will ask the question. Traditionally, when a chief goes to jail and returns, is he still the chief? Do you want to have a thief as a chief? An ex-convict, can he be a chief in Ghana? Some of the reasons you can't be a chief in Ghana include going to prison for theft. I leave it to the people of Banka to decide. My brother, my sister, it's the Black Pot, aka Kuku Shodom, where we speak truth to power. And this is where we end it all today.